Hard work versus smart work? What's the difference? And how can both make you thousands of dollars a month? Find that out in today's video. Hey everybody, welcome to Make Money from Home. In today's video, we're going to have a look at working hard versus working smart strategies you can use to improve some essential life skills and make you more money. We'll also be covering the difference between the two areas and talking about some exclusive information, so make sure you stick around until the end. For now, let's jump right into the video. Before we start, let's start off with a question. Are you one of those people who finds yourself putting in huge amounts of work, but you feel as though you're not getting as much money or recognition that you should? If this sounds familiar, the reason may not be the amount of work you're putting in, but the way you're doing it. In other words, as well as working hard, you need to work smart. Lots of people work hard, but only a few become truly successful, and this is where smart work comes in. To start working smarter, there's an essential rule that you need to keep in mind. The value of what you produce isn't about how much work went into it, it's measured by how useful it is to people. So if you can get the same end result and create something of value by putting in less effort and time, then that's the route you should be taking. And you shouldn't feel ashamed that you've done less work to get there. It will mean that the time, effort, and other resources you've saved can all be put to far better use. On the face of it, it seems obvious, but it's something a lot of people could be doing better. So let's dive in and look at a few tips at how to work smarter. Before you start any task, it's important to have a clear picture of what you want to achieve. You need to know what steps are essential to get there and which ones aren't necessary, and can be cut out if time doesn't allow. Too many people end up spending way too long on minor details that nobody's going to notice or care about. This is because they've lost sight of the bigger picture, and in some cases because they're too much of a perfectionist. Now, the key isn't necessarily to stop being a perfectionist. This depends on the task you're given. Imagine you're an aircraft engineer and you're working on a safety feature of an airplane. This is a situation where you want to be a perfectionist because the bigger picture tells you that if it's not perfect, the cost is going to be huge, and the extra time you spend on working on getting it just right is worth it. But now let's compare that with another scenario. Let's say you're preparing a PowerPoint presentation for work. You know what you're going to say, but you end up spending hours looking for the right graphics for your slides, even though they aren't central to what you want to deliver. In this case, you should probably settle for graphics you've got and move on to something more productive. The next step to working smart is to manage your time well. Every smart worker knows that time is the most precious resource they have. If you're going to create things of value, you only have a certain amount of time to do this, so you need to use it wisely. One thing that a lot of successful people do at the start of the day is to set themselves a list of goals. They make realistic estimates of how much time they need to spend on each task, effectively a schedule for the day. We're not saying you need to stick to this schedule 100%. You can always modify it here and there. But if you find yourself constantly spending more time than you've given yourself for tasks, there's something wrong. In this case, you need to rethink things. The key is to make realistic estimates of how long each task will take and respect those time limits so you fit everything in the hat you need. Also, don't try to multitask too much. Most people can only handle so many things at the same time. So if you're trying to solve 5 problems at once, your brain will be so overcrowded with random ideas for each problem, you won't be able to fully focus on any one of them. Concentrate on one thing at a time and try to organize your life so you don't have too many tasks going on at once. The next strategy you can use to work smart, which isn't applied when working hard, is figuring out the system you are dealing with. Everything we do in life involves a system, from the biological systems that make our bodies work, to systems that govern how money changes hands, to psychological systems that make people take us seriously or not. If we have a good working knowledge of the system we're dealing with, we can improve our chances of success. Let's look at the example of an entrepreneur looking for investors for a startup. Some budding business people spent hours making materials for pitches and then delivering them to potential investors. But it all comes to nothing. Their business ideas might be great and they've worked hard on it, but the problem is they don't really understand what the investors are looking for and what's going to grab their attention and make them sign up. Then there are other entrepreneurs who study the system. They understand how investors operate, and they do research on individual investors they're going to pitch to. The time they spent doing this is much more worthwhile than spending endless hours on changing the wording of their pitch. A lot of people who are working hard on something but failing just don't understand the system they're working with. This is true of your friend who is an excellent employee but does poorly on job interviews. They probably haven't looked into how to impress job interviewers and give them exactly what they're looking for. And what about that guy at the gym who's always there but just doesn't seem to be able to get in shape? He probably needs to study how fitness training works. Whatever the system you're dealing with is, understanding it helps you get to your goal faster, cheaper, and with higher chances of success. Before we move on, if you're enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe, leave us a like, and let us know in the comments what videos you want to see. We'd love to hear from you. A big opposite between working hard and working smart is finding shortcuts that will help you achieve your goals faster. We're not talking about cutting corners in a way that will make the end result less valuable or leaving someone else to pick up the mess. We're talking about getting to the same target faster. Think about a worker who has to deliver a spreadsheet and spends a long time creating the entire thing from scratch, while another worker gets the same task done in a few minutes by finding a suitable template. And in those few minutes, half the job is already done. The second worker is smarter because they found a shortcut that will get them the same result. Whatever your area of work, there will be shortcuts that help you do your job faster and more efficiently. Spend some time looking into them, because a few hours spent finding them could save you hundreds of hours in the long run. Let us know your job in the comments. We would love to hear. To work smart and be successful in your area, you should always know when to ask for help. This applies to all areas of work and business, from being successful or just starting out. It's okay to want help, and it's something that can be beneficial in many ways. Smart workers always know when there's somebody else who can solve a problem better than them, and they don't hesitate to ask for help. Besides this, they also probably have a network of people that they can turn to. In a lot of cases, this will involve paying a specialist to do something for you. And this might be the most effective solution, like when you need your own website but don't know how to create one yourself. But sometimes it might mean just bouncing ideas off colleagues at work. When you can't find a fix for a problem, sharing ideas with others will open up new perspectives you hadn't seen before. And people who frequently bounce ideas off others are generally better at solving problems than those who don't. And of course, if you're going to expect other people to be available to help solve your problems, you're also going to have to be available in return. When you do this, you're creating a network that you can make use of when you need help. It's a great way to improve social skills, but also could be a useful way to create a source of income. So take that into consideration. Finally, a great habit to get into is have interruption-free slots in your schedule. Yes, you heard me right. Now let me explain. Now, we just mentioned that there are times you'll want to make yourself available to others, but there are other times when you won't. In fact, these times you'll want to shut yourself off completely to concentrate on the task at hand. This might be when there's a deadline looming, when you're working on a tight schedule, or when you want to make progress with a long-term project. In too many workplaces, people waste times on interactions that don't get them anywhere. If you get into 5 conversations about what you did this weekend before you even log into your computer, this is probably the case. And remember that phone calls, emails, and conversations on Messenger can be huge distractions as well. So you should know how to block these out. Some experts even suggest that you should avoid checking your emails first thing in the morning and leave them till you've got a few tasks taken care of. But to be fair, whether you want to do this depends on your workflow and how urgent those emails are likely to be. But definitely, when you have an important task to do, the only answer is to knuckle down and focus and completely shut out interruptions. Smart workers know how to politely signal to colleagues that they don't want to be interrupted. And at times, they'll even switch off their phones or the internet so they can pay attention to the task they're working on. It's overall a great way to totally refocus on your work, which in the end will make you more money. Everything we've mentioned today is the difference between working hard and working smart, and it's the things you need to apply to become a professional in your craft. We'll look at more of these in future videos. So if you enjoyed today's video and would like to see more videos, please be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more videos on how to make money working from home and much, much more. Check out this video